Welcome to the Nitpicking Nerds. Today we're doing a top 10.
It's the top 10 must-have cards from Core 21.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. Did you miss our top 10s? Because they're back. We're doing another one right now. If you like top 10s, you have to subscribe. That's just how it is.
Yeah, and besides, you want to be subscribed to our channels because our subscribers are 10% less vanilla.
Disclaimer guy here. Subscribing to Nitpicking Nerds will not affect if you taste like vanilla or chocolate or whatever.
Unless, of course, you like vanilla, because obviously, as people with mild internet fame, we would never want to offend anyone ever.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, our goal is only to never offend.
As soon as you reach more followers than you have as people, so when we hit 3 followers, we have to accommodate everyone.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm even saying this. Let's get into the top 10, but the only disclaimer aside from the first one is no reprints.
It's not a disclaimer.
These are new cards.
Yeah, that's not a disclaimer. That's the rules of the list. The list, they have to be new cards. If this wasn't new cards, I'm pretty sure Ugin's number 1 because that card's insane.
I mean, I would just put Grim Tutor at number 1. So Grim Tutor and Ugin are not on this list because they're reprints. So
yeah,
let's just hop into it because this video should have started by now.
It should have. Maybe it should have, but you were too busy going on a tangent about something silly.
I was making a point. I don't know what point.
I think the point was number 10, Animal Sanctuary. It's a colorless land, but you can pay 2 and tap it to put a counter on a dog, a cat, an ox, or a goat, right?
Or a snake.
Or a snake. I missed one.
I would argue that it's a land that has colorless and you can pay 2 and tap it.
Yeah, you don't like the butt. You don't like the
it's
butt.
Weird.
I know. I understand what you're saying. This goes in like any of those tribal decks. Obviously, there's not too many snake tribal decks. There's not too many.
It's another swarm yard. It's just a free roll in every tribal deck. Or if your commander is one of these things and it cares about counters, throw it in.
Yeah, dogs, cats. This is dogs and cats. If you're looking for something special, we have some announcements. Stick around to the end of the video for that announcement.
You have to watch the whole thing and we'll check the analytics or else I'll erase it from your memory if you skip it.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
There's your disclaimer. Number 9 is Village Rites. This is probably my favorite card from the set because it's just cool. It's black for an instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Draw 2 cards.
This card's fine. I don't know.
I think this card is really good. I think Altar's Reap was like close, but it was never quite there. I think the fact that you just cut the mana cost in half makes this like super playable. That's just my thoughts on it.
I think this card's fine. I don't see like I think the only thing, it's one of the few things in this list I might have changed a little bit if it was a soul list. I think I would have switched to Animal Sanctuary and Village Rites, but they're still fine. They're like, these spots make sense to me too.
Yeah, I think that's really good utility. 1 mana, draw 2. If the sacrifice is an upside, that's 3 upsides on 1 card.
Yeah. Also, if the creature that you're getting rid of is nothing, then it's also
it's just the investment is so low. This looks even better than Night's Whisper, which I already like in Commander.
Oh, Night's Whisper. You love you a good.
I love when Vraska whispers in my ear.
Oh yeah, real
tickles my head with her snakes.
Ooh.
It's not sexual at all.
Nah,
no.
You made it
disgusting.
Disgusting.
Number 8. What is it?
Number 8 is Liliana's Standardbearer.
Talk about cards that sound like they're from the Planeswalker deck precons.
Liliana's Standardbearer? Yeah, I would say so. It's 2 and a black for a 3/1 flash. When it enters the battlefield, draw X cards, where X is the number of creatures that died under your control this turn. That is a lot of there's so many qualifiers, but it's so good.
I think that the text they left off of this card that's usually on these things is you lose X life. This doesn't care. If you have 30 creatures leave, you can just draw 30 cards. It's not like, oh, well, now I can't cast it.
It also does not say non-token.
That is another thing missing that we would love to be missing, and it is.
This is great board wipe protection for your deck. I mean, you can put this in the graveyard deck, and you don't even really need board wipe protection because you're playing out of your graveyard.
You can just play this as a sorcery. If you're trying to filter through your deck, you just sacrifice 4 creatures. All right, I'll draw 4 right now. Try to find some more stuff. Keep my wheels spinning.
I mean, the decks are going to be able to use this. It's one of those cards where it's like, it's just okay. And then the decks that want it, this card is like A+ in those decks.
I feel like this could just win the game too. If you set up like a Living Death and then you get it back and you like Living Death again,
I mean,
you could draw your whole deck.
If you have,
because the creatures die twice, but it just counts the number of creatures that died.
I mean,
so the number of creatures that die could be like 200.
I mean, let's just say you have Phyrexian Altar as a sacrifice. 5 creatures in the pawn at Ulamog. That's already insane.
Well, if you take the Phyrexian Altar, Gravecrawler, infinite mana thing, infinite creatures have died. you play like Jace or something, you just draw your whole deck.
Yeah, this card is very good and very abusable.
The ceiling is so high, and the floor is like a really good card.
The floor, if the floor is like it's a 3/1 flash, that is obviously the floor. But the real floor is it draws you like one card in response to after a removal spell resolves. It's like that's pretty good too.
That's totally fine. Love this card. Keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Number 7 is Ghostly Pilferer. Pilf alert. 1 and a blue for a 2/1 Spirit Rogue. Whenever it becomes untapped, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts a spell from anywhere other than their hand, draw a card. Discard a card, it can't be blocked this turn. And I just realized it didn't have flying. Probably because there's no room on the card. But it is a spirit. I just assume spirits have flying.
Yeah, so PILF stands for Poltergeist I like to be friendly with.
That would be PILTBFW.
Yeah, but you know how this works. Everybody knows that you just...
I could just say PILF and
you understand and you get it. Exactly.
I'm sorry, we're not usually this weird. This
no,
card...
that's a false statement.
This card says whenever opponent casts a commander, mainly, right, you draw a card. So it seems okay. It kind of has that Key to the City text where you can discard card. It's like exactly that text. You discard a card, hit somebody, then you can untap and draw a card.
Yeah. It's
weird. This is a weird card. I think it's good. I don't know. It's like in the lower ranks, but it might be maybe I don't know. This has got a weird wording on it. I think it's good.
I think this card is perfectly fine and reasonable, and in the right decks where you want when you're in that weird blue deck that wants to have like a lot of bodies in the field. I mean, untapping it is
Spirit Tribal, untapped Tribal.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, there's
potential.
There's definitely a lot of cards that can untap. You can work.
Keep
with
an eye
guy.
on this one.
Yeah, get some good draws. Doesn't he untaps on your turn? Doesn't he still do his thing?
What thing?
I thought it was when he untaps.
Yeah, whenever he untaps, you can pay 2 if you do draw card.
Yeah, so you can do that on your turn. That's what I meant.
Well, yeah, it's got the Key to the City text.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
they should really keyword that. Key to the City.
Yeah,
that's the keyword.
Yeah, he's got look out, that ghost. He's got the key to our city.
Number 6, what is it?
Number 6 is Peer into the Abyss. 4 black sorcery. Target player draws cards equal to half the number of cards in their library, loses half of their life, rounded up.
Both are rounded up, and I think this made the list because it says target player.
Yeah, so you can do this to your opponent, or you could just lose half your life and like probably win in a lot of the decks.
Ad nauseum. That's a good Magic card in the competitive decks. This is like the budget version, I feel like. This is like budget ad nauseum.
Yeah, ad nauseum has spiked up quite a bit lately.
Don't agree with that. Reprint it. It should be a bulk rare. That is such a bulk rare card.
It's so good in EDH. Other than being good in EDH, it is such... It has that one modern deck, and it's a 1 of in Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Peer into the Abyss is 7 mana to draw half your deck. Again,
it's literally draw 40.
If you're
like those numbers are insane. If this said draw 40, I feel like people would lose their minds, but I feel like no one's talking about it.
In your big black decks, this is going to be absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, get your Cabal Coffers, tap Cabal Coffers and 2 Swamps. That covers this spell. Then just go crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're playing Crick or something where this only costs 4 mana because it has 3 black pips.
Oh God, that's insane. And plus you lose less life because you just paid 6 of it, so you
probably draw 20 something.
Pretty gross.
Yeah.
What's the next one? This one when I saw it, I wasn't initially excited for, but I see the upside and I see why it's good.
Yeah, I can see why the Command Zone got it for their preview. It's Chromatic Orion, 7 mana for an artifact, taps for 5 wingdings. You can spend mana as though it were any color, and you pay 5 and tap it to draw a card for each color among permanents you control.
Yeah, so this card is perfectly reasonable. There's nothing wrong with it.
It's mostly a giant Gilded Lotus.
It is. It's a giant Gilded Lotus that lets you draw. If you're playing a 5-color commander, I think it definitely has more of a spot in a 5-color commander deck where
it fixes your mana. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Because it fixes your mana. It's like you're giant. It's like Chromatic Lander, Gilded Lotus combined into one.
Yeah, it's got to be. I want the direct analogy because we're missing a mana. That card only makes 4 mana.
I don't know. Come up with something
plus
yourself.
Power Creep.
Yeah, but yeah, Power Creep plus those 2 cards combined.
Yeah, plus Desire to Sell Packs.
This card is going to be a great EDH card in a lot of decks. Anything that I would say any 5-color deck that wants to go big. If you care about artifacts, you can untap it. This card's absolutely insane.
Oh yeah, you get your Manifold key out for this one.
Yeah. Don't put this in your colorless deck. You know who I'm talking to.
Okay. Number 4, probably a little bit of a sleeper for Commander aficionados. Keep an eye on this set because it's a big old mythic rare. Looks like it's pushed for standard, but Terror of the Peaks. 3 red for a 5/4 flyer dragon. Spells your opponent's cast that target it. Costs an additional 3 life to cast. Irrelevant. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. This is so much better than stupid Warstorm Surge. That is actually still a good card.
Yeah, this card is insanely strong. It is removal. It can just hit dome people in the face. You're playing big fat dummies. This is like something awesome for like a Xenagos type deck.
If you put a bunch of creatures in play at once, this sees all of them and it's gonna destroy people.
Like all I keep thinking about is like, oh, Xenagos already is playing dumb big fatties. You play this one, it punches for 10 in the air. 2, the next creature that comes down that has 6 power and trample that you were gonna make hasty. Now that one is killing their 6 power thing. Oh,
Creatures entering with counters,
oh,
or if you're doubling the counters, or if it's of some variable number.
I mean, even if they're entering and triggering to get counters, you can stack the triggers correctly so that you will get the most damage out of this.
Right, like if a creature says, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, put a counter on a creature, and then you play one, well, you stack them the right way so you get the extra damage.
Yeah, so you put the counter on first, then you deal the damage.
Yeah, card looks very good. Maybe wait for it to drop from its initial $25 price tag.
Card is very good. I don't think this card looks very good because I just think it does look very good. But why even say that? Because it just is a very good Magic.
Yeah, but it's got that weird first line that doesn't matter at all. It's a standard line.
In EDH, it doesn't matter, but it's going to matter in Standard. Because I guess it's not going to matter in Standard because
This is probably not even good enough for Standard. Standard is stupid.
The same 5 cards are going to run Standard. Yeah,
it's going to be the top card on this list running Standard probably.
Oh, yeah.
Number 3, Fairies Ageless Insight. It's 2 blue for an enchantment. And whenever you draw a card except for the one on your draw step, draw 2 instead. This card is so good. Oh my god. They pushed Thought Reflection to the max.
Yeah, they pushed it down to 4 mana.
They cut it in half, basically.
And oh my god, this card is actually just bonkers. You literally 4 mana to double all your draws. And the decks you're going to be playing in it, it's not going to matter that your first draw for turn isn't doubled because everything else, like your cantrips, are going to be doubled.
If you draw a card for any reason, card replaces itself.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, just think of how good, like on turn, let's just say turn 4, you have 5 mana. You play this and a ponder. Boom! You just replace both the cards right away. How strong is that?
It's 4 mana is not a high investment in Commander.
No,
especially when you're going to get stuff. If you're the Monarch, boom, card right away.
Oh my, it's so good.
This card looks it is even better than I thought it would be when I was starting to think about this list.
It's just
gonna do some work. I'm definitely playing it in at least 1 or 2 decks that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's being 1 mana cheaper than Elhamrat's Archive really pushes this card. Like,
yeah, Archive is clunky.
Yeah, that card is a little bit clunky, but this card 1 mana less is so big. Like, it's so big in so many situations. Like, think about if like a Titan costs like 7 mana, they'd be so much worse.
Wow, that's so big.
Yeah,
that 1 mana is so big.
It is so big.
How about number 2? It's so big.
Number 2 is so big. It's Mangara, the Diplomat. 3 and away for a 2/4 lifelink legendary human cleric. Whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you and or planeswalkers you control, draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, draw a card.
Mono white card draw. It's happening. This is 2 lights at the end of the tunnel that they could go down like these paths in the future to have more white card draw.
Oh, taxing forms of card draw. Like, the fact of the matter is, if you want to think about something that I read online, Ristic Sturdy, if that was a white card, is a perfect white card. It literally makes sense to be a white card.
Well, the problem with white is a lot of its power is in stacks. Stacks is no fun. So you should take a stacks piece that no one likes, right? Take some sort of stacks piece. You just make it a little cheaper. And now instead of they can't do it, if they do it, you draw cards. How is that not white?
That's so white. It's crazy.
So white, it's crazy. This card's great. We get a deck tech on it. You should totally check it out because it has like 4 views and you can be the 5th viewer to see that video.
Ooh.
Just kidding. It has over 1,000.
Oh, obviously. We're so cool. But number 1, do you guys have any guesses? Because this card is bonkers.
I bet most people guessed it when we said it's going to run Standard. It might not even. I don't know.
Also, on top of things, it's insane with Teferi's Ageless Insight.
Well, yeah, but let's get to the card that is twice as good in Commander versus Standard. It's Teferi, Master of Time. Joe, what does it do?
2 blue for a legendary planeswalker. Teferi, 3 loyalty.
Why don't you explain the static ability?
You may activate loyalty abilities of Teferi, Master of Time, on any player's turn, anytime you could cast an instant. This means for each player, you're going to get an activation.
4 per turn cycle.
4 per turn cycle. So he actually goes off in 2 turn cycles if he's not interrupted. So the first thing he does is he pluses to draw a card and then discard a card. That's a +1. -3, target creature you don't control phases out. Phasing is so weird. Let's not think about -10, take 2 extra turns after this one. This ult after 2 goes around the table.
Starts at 4, let's say, for your turn. 5, 6, 7, your turn, number 8. And then 9, 10, 11, your turn. You get 2 extra turns. And guess what? He didn't even die.
You still have a Teferi. This card needs to be removed fast. If you add in anything that can like bolster what its plus does, like the number 3 Teferi's, what is that called?
Insight.
Yeah, you add that card here, and now you're drawing 2 cards and discarding 1. It's absolutely insane. This card is bonkers.
It looks so good. I
just
thought
get to filter through your deck over and over and over again.
Yeah, I don't. You're smooth out your draws at the bare minimum.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. There's no card to really compare it to because I've never seen every upkeep draw discard. But that card seems like it would be good.
Yeah, a card that says every upkeep draw discard and also says you'll probably gain some life along the way. And if you wipe the board before this, it's going to be really hard not to ult.
Yeah, the only downside of this card probably is that you can't phase out your own creatures, so you can't save them from like a board wipe.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if we're picking holes in this thing, this card's amazing. Definitely deserves number 1.
You can also be political with it. On the same note, though, his minus can protect it from the biggest creature coming at it. You activate this card as an instant. So
yeah, he's gonna take 7. Well, better -3 than dead.
Yeah. I'll -3 him. Get rid of your Sun Titan. Okay. Now the Sun Titan's not attacking it anymore.
Right.
Like
Just doesn't exist.
This card is very good. It's very strong.
Too bad a lot of the power cards are all mythics. I mean, you got Teferi, Mangara, Terror of the Peaks, Chromatic Orion. They're all mythics. We got Ageless Insight, Peer, Ghostly Flicker, Standardbearer, and Sanctuary at rares, which those are going to be affordable. And then Village Rage is just a common.
Me and Beezy were having a conversation recently. We actually mentioned how we thought Wizards wasn't doing a good job with the reprints recently. But on a good note, this is a sign of change because this is exactly what a core set should be.
Yeah, let's do our Patreon shoutouts, and then we'll do how about reprints for the tidbit.
Okay, so special shout outs to all of our patrons. We love you all as much as we can without making you uncomfortable. You guys make this channel happen. You support us in and out. You've been there for us the whole time.
All of you, even the ones who joined yesterday.
Even the ones who joined exactly yesterday. And if you want to join them, you can have it at patreon.com. There's a link in the description below to take you straight there. BZ, what are some other ways they could support us?
Well, those are in the description. You can go to tcgplayer.com, check the deck list out. Well, in this case, it's a top 10 list. Check it out, navigate where you want, and then we get kicked back on the order. Buy me a coffee. You can tip us through that link, also in the description. But the main thing we wanted to talk about, or at least plug, is on Twitch.
Yeah, if you can't get enough of me and sometimes BZ, and definitely BZ this Friday, I stream from 10 to 4 on weekdays. And this upcoming Friday, what time, BZ? You got to give them a time.
Sometime around noon. Probably noon. Maybe we'll stream at 11 or something, or start streaming at 10. But at noon, we're going to do a live building of, the dog and cat legend.
Yeah.
Ren and Civvy or something.
Ren and Stimpy, that's what everyone's been calling them.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a live build of the Ren and Stimpy deck. In front, we're gonna be talking with chat. We're going to be doing that. The deck the final product of that will be put onto YouTube afterward. But if you would like to see it live in person
and help build the deck,
you can hit there 12 o'clock on Friday to help us build that deck.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. So, what's the tidbit?
The tidbit was reprints. Scavenging Ooze. Containment Priest.
Ugin.
Oh yeah, Ugin was in this set.
How about
even the allied or the enemy Scrylands? They're back again.
I will take Containment Priest. Containment Priest is great for stopping Uro. Wait. It's if you didn't cast.
How about Scavenging Ooze is great from stopping Uro?
Yes.
Screw that card. It's so boring.
God,
it's so good.
It's so good.
It's a really cool card. It was boring.
It's just, it's too pushed.
It does everything.
It's too pushed. It's just, why couldn't it flashback for 2 green, blue? It's like,
why does it gain life?
That card's still good.
I mean, I think if it doesn't gain life, you can just get run over by
aggro.
You can't just go Uro, and then like time walk their first 2 hits.
Yeah, it sucks.
Whatever. Standard's lame. I don't really see a way out. Doesn't really matter because we make EDH content, and EDH basically only ever gets better.
Yeah. But you know what's awesome? Arena Cube, also awesome.
Arena Cube's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've had mixed results.
Yeah, I've also had mixed results.
A lot of the lame standard cards make for completely miserable gameplay.
True.
Why is Ulamog on Arena?
He's in a.
Ugh.
They need him for historic. Though we did. Ooh,
No, they don't need anything. You don't need Ulamog for historic. You get Nugan.
You know what's something you didn't put on this list, which doesn't belong on this list, but is worth mentioning real quick when we're talking about reprints. Everyone was wondering, why in God's name did they put this stupid ass Hondens?
Because there's more shrines. But these ones are legendary. And then there's a Wooburg legendary one.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean,
something.
I mean, it makes sense to put them on historic for that reason. I was curious, like, why of all the cards in all of time, why did they put?
They went back and they were
Hondens?
like these.
Yeah, Hondens, something that nobody has talked about or cared about in years.
Right. I don't even know if anyone cared back then.
I don't know if anyone cares now, and they've reprinted new ones.
Yeah, you let us know if that's all you want to do.
The Wooburg one's good.
It's okay. It's they're reverse curses, I like to say.
Reverses.
Yeah, reverse. Sure. But anyway, we're done.
Oh yeah. Well, peace out, chaps out.